Hello and welcome to Bookish and Beverages. I'm Melissa and I share delicious beverages and summary recaps on fantasy book series so you can remember what happened without having to read it. And today we'll be diving into The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin. And this is book one in the Scarlet Veil series. Before we move on, content warning, there are full spoilers ahead. So if you haven't read this book, I suggest you pause, save this video for later. Unless you just don't funky care, then, well, carry on. So let's go grab our drink. For our beverage today, we'll be making a hibiscus green tea. Here's what you'll need. In a tea strainer for loose leaf teas, add 1 teaspoon of hibiscus or use 1 tea bag. Add 1 teaspoon of green tea or use 1 tea bag. Add 1 cup of boiling water. Cover and let it steep for 3 minutes. Once it's done steeping, strain the tea. Add honey or sweetener to your taste and stir. Enjoy! Drinks in hand, let's dive into our book. 6 months after helping take down the evil Morgane LeBlanc, saving the kingdom, becoming the first and only woman huntsman within the chasseur ranks, and getting engaged to Jean-Luc, the captain of the chasseurs, Sadie is struggling to find her place and move on from the fear of the dark after being trapped in a casket for 2 weeks with her sister's corpse. That's disturbing. Jean-Luc, their witch friends Blue, Reed, and Coco, and His Royal Highness Beau visit her room in the dormitories to kick it and play games. All is right in the world when her friends are near. Waking up early to train by herself the next morning, and not doing a very good job of it, I might add, the dipshit, Frederick, shows up, taunts her, and challenges her. She might not be strong enough physically, but she's got spark and won't go down without trying. Jean-Luc shows up, breaking up the fight, and whisks Sadie away for a private chat that gets rudely interrupted by a messenger about some bodies. He's keeping secrets from her and she just wants to be let in. She visits her sister's grave when she notices a body that wasn't there before. It's Babette, a blood witch. What's really odd is the 2 pinprick wounds that are on her throat. There's no blood, no injuries, and it looks like she's only sleeping. Sadie leaves to go get Jean-Luc when she runs into a mysterious pale man. As the mystery man taunts her, Jean-Luc comes to defend her. Sensing that the mystery man is bad news bears, she gives Jean-Luc the signal to attack. But when they turn around, he vanishes. All the huntsmen clean up the crime scene and Jean-Luc orders Sadie back to her room like a dismissed child. Tired of waiting for Jean-Luc, Sadie goes to find him, and what does she eavesdrop on? A meeting going down with Jean-Luc and all her friends about the murder mystery and her life. Ouch. Things get even more awkward when she barges in and gives them a dose of sass and takes off with the sketches of the victims. She hides in the library, reviewing the sketches until Jean finds her. We get it, dude. You're worried about her, but give her a chance to prove herself and show you what she is capable of. And she feels the same way. She takes off her engagement ring and walks away. Taking a stroll in Brindle Park by her childhood home, Sadie notices something peculiar. The trees that never die are withering. Lou joins her, and after hashing out the beef Sadie had with her, they make up and agree to meet up later for a night of fun with their friends. Except Sadie never makes it because she gets knocked out. Sadie wakes up on a boat without her flippy floppies. Odessa and Michael are there questioning who she is since she's clearly not Coco, the princess of the Dame Rouge witches, the one they intended to capture. They arrive on the Isle of Requiem, a peculiar place where werewolves, maids, mermaids, witches, and the Eternal Ones are all cohabitating. Sadie is taken and locked in a very dark room. After losing her last bit of candlelight source, she peeps through a keyhole to see the Disney-haunted mansion ghosts dancing and celebrating down the hall. The last one notices her and whispers an ominous, "There you are," to her. The next morning, Odessa's twin brother, Dimitri, escorts her to Michael's study. They play a little game of truth for a truth, since he knows who she really is, and Sadie finds out what he really is. "I know what you are. Say it out loud. Vampire." Oops, wrong movie. But you get the point. Michael plans to use her as bait. Apparently, the Blood Witches took something of his, and he wants Coco as revenge. T-minus 19 days until the ball on All Hallows Eve to lure in her friends. Get in, loser, we're going shopping. The twins come to Sally's room to whisk her away to go birthday dress shopping, but not before revealing that they're 17. How long have you been 17? 1,000 years. Well, I don't know how old they are when they turned, but we'll just go with the Twilight script. Walking around the old village, Sally learns what compulsion is by spilling the tea on her ambitious plans to warn her friends and to manipulate and kill the vampires. So much for that. At the dress shop, Sally meets Mark, the shop owner, and D'Artagnan, his brother turned cat that looks like a charcoal version of Crookshanks, while also learning an interesting tidbit about silver. There's not much of it on the aisle, and now she's wondering why that is. And uh-oh, they're in trouble. Michael has come to burst their bubble. Dismissing the twins, he brings Sally to the theater to summon ghosts that she's never actually tried summoning before. Alas, the Broadway ghosts appear to only Sally, calling her bride, and warn her to leave because the man in shadows is searching for her. Freaking out, and rightfully so, Sally passes out, fumbling into a dream. But is it really a dream or her peeking into what's happening in real time? Her mom, Lou, Coco, and Jean-Luc are doing their best to find her after she's been missing for a week already. Oh, and Coco's family grimoire has been stolen. Waking up in her over-the-top candle-lit room, thank God, Sally finds a book, How to Commune with the Dead, left out and decides to summon a ghost. Not only do ghosts show up, but she slips through the veil into the realm between the living and the dead, meeting Mila, who tells her that she's obviously the bride of death, meaning that she was kissed by death and still lived. Mila warns that the darkness is coming for them all. Specifically, the Shadow Man is out for Sally's blood. Literally. Back in the realm of the living, Michael comes to her room telling her she is free to roam the castle and that he has business to attend to. What a perfect time for Sally to explore and look for her silver cross necklace. In his study, she doesn't find her necklace, but what she does find is a trapdoor leading to a cavern below with a boat and some family pictures from when he was human. Mila was Michael's sister. Back in the dress shop with Odessa, Sally is ushered to the back office after 3 opinionated and vocal vampires challenge Michael's capabilities to rule. Another opportunity to peek through someone's stuff, and under Mark's desk, she finds a silver stake and writes a warning letter to Coco. Slipping out the back door, D'Artagnan, the Crookshank look-alike, and Sally make their way downtown, walking fast, faces passing their Avery bound. She gives her letter to a 3-eyed crow, and maybe she should have heeded everyone's advice about the dangers of vampires, because a very hungry vampire chases her and she gets injured trying to run away. Trapped and looking like a snack to 4 vampires, and not the sexy, seductive kind of snack. Sally is ready to accept her death, but Michael comes to the rescue, killing all but one of them. Without any healers on the aisle, Michael offers his healing love potion blood to her. Oh boy, does it work, making her feel all hot and bothered, ready to climb her enemy like a tree. All healed, she thanks him by trying to stab him, and he lashes out at her when Mila bursts in, and what's this? Michael can hear and see her too when he's touching Sally. Michael has been trying to find Mila's murderer ever since she was killed in Sally's hometown. Dun, dun, dun. But Mila doesn't remember her final moments of life. Michael thinks Coco has something to do with it. But could the killer and the mysterious Shadow Man be one and the same? Let's make a deal. Sally agrees to help Michael look for the killer, and he promises not to kill her and give her back her silver cross necklace. The search begins, and off to Amadine they go. Not sure how to pronounce certain things, so just roll with it as always. Instead of one bed or one horse, it's a one casket trope. Michael and a drunk Sally snuggle up in a casket as the chasseurs board the ship to do a cargo search. Sally is person of interest number 1 since she's been missing. After 3 guys search and talk shit on Sally and Jean-Luc, one of them being the dipshit Frederick, Sally word vomits about what happened to her, about the whole Morgan LeBlanc trapped her in a casket with her sister's decaying body for 2 weeks until she was found. Then she actually vomits all over Michael's shoes. Hold on tight, Spider Monkey. Michael hauls Saley on his back and speedily races off to their destination, a brothel. The seer mermaid reveals a few ominous truths. The cross necklace belonged to her sister. If she succeeds, so will the killer. And their next lead is Penelope, Babette's cousin. Accidentally wearing the color red of the courtesans, other guests mistake Saley for one, so she crawls into Michael's lap where they wait for Penelope to finish with her client. Ooh la la. Penelope isn't much help except for letting them know Babette's room is still there, and she had a sister who recently passed away, which means it's time to sneak in. There's only one problem. Hellfire blocks the fireplace doorways, and a courtesan's kiss is the only way inside. But loophole. Saley's dress color qualifies her as a courtesan. She kisses Michael, and he deepens the kiss. They go into the room, and I spy with my little eye a fresh cup of tea, the missing grimoire with a spell to resurrect the dead, and Saley's name listed, and a very much alive Babette. She faked her death and is working with a necromancer who needs Saley's blood to complete the spell. Babette takes out Michael by throwing crushed up silver in a tea at him and stabbing him with a silver knife. Just when she's about to go for Saley, the twins arrive to save the day. In the safety of a nearby attic, Saley offers up her blood to heal Michael. He drinks from her. She's overcome with desire. Then he realizes it's her and stops before he kills her. Furious and fighting, Saley walks out into the sunlight. After a good crisis, she discovers that the cross necklace is a locket with a note to her sister inside. A luton, basically a goblin, that she befriended back home, lures Saley, and goodness does he stink because he's raised from the dead and working for the necromancer. They want all of her blood, and she's clever and escapes. At the docks, waiting for their shipment of caskets to be cleared by the TSA, Saley and crew overhear a private conversation between Jean-Luc and Reed. Saley chooses to leave with Michael as they cuddle up in his casket for round 2. They don't make it on board when one of the sailors accidentally drops the casket, tumbling Michael and Saley out at Jean-Luc's feet. Awkward! And it keeps going downhill from there. A courageous Saley officially breaks off the engagement with Jean-Luc. Ouch. Poor dude just wanted to protect her. I get it. But she needed him to love her, to trust her, to comfort her, to push her, to confide in her. Is that too much to ask, dude? Back on the Isle, Dimitri explains that he wanted Babette's grimoire to cure his bloodlust, and he's the reason that Mila wound up dead when they went to meet up with who they thought was Lou, but ended up being ambushed by Babette and the necromancer. The clock strikes midnight. The enchantment around the Isle is broken, and the Hollow's Eve Ball is in full swing. Lou makes a grand entrance, holding up 2 sun-like balls of light, scattering and burning the vampires. Saley steps in to tell her that they were invited as friends, not food. Michael passes Coco's blood test, and all is well. Saley and her vamp crew dance and share their necromancer trap plan with Lou and Co. It's action time. Phase 1. Beau consoles Saley in the courtyard, hoping to lure the necromancer. Instead, they lure rebellious vampires who plan to overthrow Michael. Michael, the twins, and his security vampires show up just in time. There's blood, violence, death, and a public execution. All just a tad bit much for Saley, and who could blame her? Finally falling asleep in her room with Lou and Coco, Saley had a bizarre dream and wakes up needing to tell Michael. Together, they go down to his grotto to check if what she saw in her dream was truly real. At first, there's nothing amiss until Michael smells blood magic. With the invisibility cloak taken off, the coffin and Philippa's body appear. Michael is stabbed through the heart, and Babette captures Saley. The necromancer is revealed. It's Frederick. He injects her with hemlock, and she passes out. Saley wakes up in a glass coffin next to her sister's coffin. Frederick was Philippa's secret lover boy extraordinaire, and he reveals that she was pregnant. Out of the water, a bloody and broken Michael rises and drags himself towards Saley. Lou parts the water like the Red Sea. Her friends have come for her. Saley fights for her life until Frederick cuts her throat open. No! Saley is a ghost with Mila, overseeing the chaos unfold. Frederick is trying to give her blood to Philippa. Odessa throws Frederick. Dimitri attacks his twin to try to get the grimoire from Frederick. Philippa's coffin topples over. Dimitri bites Bo and snaps Odessa's neck. Michael clings to Saley's coffin, and Frederick and Philippa's body have disappeared. Saley needs to choose as her heart beats one last time: be a ghost forever or pass on to the realm of the dead. In a last-ditch effort to save her, Michael presses his blood to Saley's lips. Edward has saved Bella. Wrong story. But similar to Breaking Dawn's Part 1 ending, Saley wakes up and she is a vampire. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more summary recaps on your favorite fantasy series. If you enjoyed this summary recap, please like, subscribe, and share with your fellow book lovers. If there are any fantasy series that you'd like summaries done on, please just drop it into the comments below. And thank you, thank you, thank you.